What's up? There are millions of viewers. This is Dave Oblis and Kimberly Sargent on the NFC Now podcast. Can you hear me, Kimberly? We good?
I can hear you, and hopefully all the millions of viewers can hear me as well.
I think we're at hundreds of thousands. I kind of lied on Facebook. It said millions, but that's not important. So you notice Julian is not with us tonight. He had a family emergency come up that he is dealing with, and hopefully he is back next week. So not to be overdone, but I'm here with Kimberly, who's a much better announcer than I am, as everyone knows. You've seen her in
Not
all the
true.
fight nights for years.
I only got you fired that one time, just once.
I think everyone's gotten me fired at least once, so you're not the only person. So, yeah. So we were going to have you on as a guest tonight, and I think Julian was going to fire a hell of a lot of questions at you, and I was looking forward to the journalist Julian versus the journalist Kimberly and seeing all the good work in there, but instead you have a guy that does the back end of the podcast talking to you. So for the millions of people that don't know what you've done, give them a little history of Kimberly Sargent.
So basically, I did a bunch of recruiting in collegiate sports. So I went to University of Georgia. As you can tell, everybody knows all I do: eat, sleep, breathe, UGA football. So I did recruiting with Georgia football and did a lot of focus with recruiting with Georgia basketball back in the Coach Herrick days. So that's kind of where I got my sports love. My sister was a broadcaster, so she kind of went that direction. I thought I was going to go marketing. Graduated, got a gig with 790 The Zone. It kind of took off. I started out as just one of their models and ended up getting an on-air spot for a nationally syndicated show. Got picked up by Comcast On Demand by Jose Santiago and you and Hunter. And it's kind of just taken off from there. I've always loved MMA. It's insane. MMA, Muay Thai, boxing. I've just always kind of liked it. So it just was an easy transition for me. Whenever I finished school, I don't know if you know, but I worked for Red Bull. So how I got into MMA anyway is my very first account was a Muay Thai gym called Unit 2 Fitness. So that's the background.
Yeah, that was not people a lot to know, but that was Jeff Boudreaux back in the day for Unit 2. I can't remember the other guy.
Did you know he's the sole owner now?
I did. It used to be the other guy. I can't remember his name that drives the race cars and stuff like
that.
Nick.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that. And so I went to Auburn. You went to Georgia. I remember back then we had the Auburn Plainsmen that did the recruiting. It was like the guys and the girls and at all the Auburn games that were in the orange suits and stuff like that, sweltering in the 100-degree heat. Like, what does that mean to be a recruiter for the people that don't know?
So there was all different roles, but for me, with football, there's way more. So we're called Georgia Girls at University of Georgia, and then we're called Hoop Girls with the basketball team. So we ended up showing around recruits, helping with recruits, giving feedback on the recruits that we had. Then there were some other girls that would do night duties, and they would go out and take the guys out and stuff like that. I was not that girl. I don't know if I wasn't hoey enough, I wasn't pretty enough, I'm not really sure, but I never got picked for that role.
I was going to ask that because at Auburn we did have those girls, and I didn't know how to approach it there. But yeah, I've heard about that. Do you have any idea like what your biggest grab was as far as a recruit, like what years you were there, or what recruit might have signed because of you?
I don't, but I don't want to, this is not like my biggest glory, but this is the most memorable situation, is I actually was investigated by the NCAA because I was there working for Coach Herrick when he got fired for having the fake class and like all those different things. So I actually was investigated by their entire NCAA recruiting teams and all of this like background crazy stuff. So that's kind of like my biggest takeaway is how serious they take it when you do illegal shit.
Yeah. So at Auburn, not to compare stories, but at Auburn, I've never been an athlete. Everyone knows that much. But we had a class called horticulture at Auburn, and that's what all the football players took. And I didn't know it till I was in there. But they showed up on the first day of class, and they showed up the last day of class, and we never saw them from day 2 till the last day. But that, and then my brother was a punter from UGA. I think he was a punter there in like 1993 or 94. He was a redshirt walk-on onto the team. the most he did was played in the G-Day game. And I remember going there as a senior in high school, and he got his one and only punt in the G-Day game. It went off the side of his foot and into the crowd. And I remember standing up like an asshole going, "That's my brother. That's my brother." And someone was like, "Well, your brother's done at UGA." And that was his first and last football team. So, yeah. So,
Oh, God.
I don't think he had to get any recruiters for that. I think it was just a walk-on spot. So.
Well, that's like a potential scholarship in good clothing, so that's worth it too.
Yeah, he went the other way. He went having to get a real job. My parents told him, "Hey, you're done with football. It's time to get a real job. You were phenomenal in high school, but you're not making it in the college or pros." And I didn't figure this out till late in the basketball season last year. But I know you're a huge Arkansas fan, and I saw all your photos with the Arkansas basketball team with the head coach, Eric, I think his name is. But I never figured out how you got there or what exactly you were doing. So explain to us your Arkansas basketball in.
So my sister is married to the head coach. So basically, I get dragged into doing what I do best, which is mix and mingle with all of the players' families. I always help out. So during March Madness, the SEC tournament, I'm literally just running crazy. I travel with the team. I go do stuff. I help with film. Like, I don't put together film, but I'll like sit in with film. A lot of the recruits get flown out and stuff like that. And I'm really good with the families, really good with the moms, the dads, just talking to them, letting them know about the school, different fun stuff. So I don't have like an official real job with Arkansas, but I just, take full advantage of what I'm good at, and I get invited back every year.
And you were there at the Final Four, grade 8. They made the Final Four, didn't they?
They made the Elite 8.
Elite 8.
Yes. So they lost to Duke in the Elite 8. So they've made the Elite 8 back-to-back years, and he's been there for 3 years. So it's pretty big.
Okay, cool. Sweet. It took me all season. I think it took me all season for 2 years to actually figure out that connection. And I think I even asked Charlene, I was like, how is she affiliated with the Arkansas basketball team? And yeah,
Well,
only took me
Charlene
2
would know.
years.
Charlene's like, I don't know.
She doesn't even know what basketball or Arkansas is. All she knows is what the beach is and what a farm is. So yeah, she's great, but she's not, Charlene's not a college athletics kind of gal.
She doesn't even need to be, though.
She doesn't. And they showed you on CBS quite a bit last year, I remember.
They always do. And we have great seats, but it's so weird. I've gotten so many fans that will tune into NFC and tell me that, oh my gosh, when's the next show they're watching? Still fans from Nevada that will tell me, oh my gosh, what a great fight night. And I'm like, how do you even remember? And there's one guy saw me on ESPN when we were at Nevada, which is like 4+ years ago, ended up having heart issues. Granted, we know I had a heart transplant. Found me on Instagram, told me he saw me on ESPN, and ended up needing a heart transplant last year. So
Damn.
It's crazy how it just is like full circle.
I guess I've heard the story about the heart transplant, and others have, but since we are in front of millions of viewers right now watching this live and on the recorded podcast, I guess give the the cliff notes of your heart transplant, how you found out, what took place.
Yeah. So basically I was fine. That's the biggest takeaway. And what I tell people, you and I have actually talked so much about blood pressure and, hearts and all this stuff that I feel like I know you didn't have a heart transplant, but you are a great example of things that we all should know to look out for, so we know something's going on. For me, I was totally fine. I was fine on a Friday working out in the gym, hitting a PR, and then I became short of breath at night. So I finally ended up going to urgent care on a Monday, and they're like, oh, okay, I don't know. I don't see anything. They were about to let me leave, ended up doing a chest x-ray. As I was leaving, the doctor chased me out and had the results when she had told me it was going to be the next day. So the tech actually saw how enlarged my heart was, and they didn't even want me to leave. So that's pretty much how I found out. They believe I caught a virus. So when people say millions of people die of the flu, that's exactly what happens. Generally speaking, when people die of the flu, they die of heart failure. So the virus attacks your heart, attacks your muscles in your heart, and you have heart failure and you die. So people don't really die of the flu. The flu does different things to the body. It shuts down organs, and that's when you die. So after 8 months, all of a sudden, my medicine stopped working. The doctor didn't recognize it. And within 3 months, I was in complete heart failure. and told I needed a heart immediately.
And you what, got it in Birmingham? You went there and you had it pretty soon thereafter?
Yeah, I just got lucky. I mean, it's all luck. It's crazy. I was diagnosed or told I needed a heart on a Tuesday, was in the hospital for about a week, was sent home for 2 weeks, went to Birmingham to do the final work to get listed. When I got there, the doctor said I was in such bad shape, he didn't understand how I didn't have a cardiac arrest already. They had put in an internal defibrillator, so if I did have a cardiac arrest, I would have been shocked back and paced back. So I was paced back twice on my own. I didn't even know. That's how in shape the rest of my body was. It was just compensating. So I was literally going into arrhythmias and had no idea. So I got admitted, was there for a week, was put on the list that Thursday, and got a heart in a week.
And now, what's it been? 2 years, 3 years? Probably over 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Are you completely fine, or do you have side effects from that, or
so unfortunately,
does it still scare the shit out of you?
Right? Shit. Well, unfortunately for me, my rejection was so bad I had to get chemo. Obviously, results of anybody that knows anybody battling with cancer, going through chemo, side effects are crazy. Generally, you bounce back from them. A lot of bad things for women is women become like, they can't have kids and all this stuff, whatever. I don't want kids. I don't care about that. But for me, I got really bad nerve damage. So I have severe nerve damage in my feet and my hands. So I have neuropathy. So my feet hurt every day, literally every single day. I can't feel anything. And at this point, I just push through it. I kind of just don't really think about it, but I can't like stand still for a really, really long time. If I'm walking, I'm fine, but I can't like stand in a place or my feet it's terrible.
Have you ever heard about one of my good friends, Dave Vitke, and his foot stuff?
His foot fetishes?
His foot fetishes. So you have heard of them. So if you
I
ever need
have beautiful feet, so I haven't let him see it. And I didn't know I had pretty feet until I posted a picture of my toenails the other day. And everyone was in my DMs like, don't do this shit for free, Kimberly. Like, pay for this. And I had no idea I had pretty feet.
If you're looking for foot massages, he's paid good money to give foot massages. So yeah, if those will help you, I'm sure he'd be willing to offer. Was that on Instagram? I want to send it to him.
It was on Instagram. It was just a random story. I got these, these nails. I got some cool, fun nails, but I got them on my toes. So I posted a thing about how no matter what season, I have to have my feet done because I just think it's gross. I don't care. And everybody was like, you need to be on Feet Finder. I didn't even know what that was, but now I know. So maybe you'll see me there. I'm not sure.
Yeah. If the story's still up, I'm going to go back in a little while and check it and screenshot it to him. I'm sure it's not the first time they've probably been screenshotted to him. You've done interviewing with the NFC for years and years, going back probably 10 years or whatever, back to the Wild Bills days. And then a couple months ago, I threw you out in jiu-jitsu as kind of the lead announcer that night. Which one do you prefer more, doing the questions or doing the announcing, or do you absolutely hate doing it that night?
So I will say this, and with all due respect to every ring announcer out there, it's not nearly as hard. Like for me, I was nervous because it was something new, but you're literally reading from a card. So as long as you have a cool voice, that's all you need, is to sound cool and look excited. Now, the interviews, they're hard because honestly, you and I both know half of these guys have never been interviewed. Half of these guys just train. That's it. They're like jujitsu guys. They tend to be like nerdier, sometimes like geekier, and they're great interviews because they have so much to say, but then it's also kind of irrelevant to the question. They'll go on a 10-minute tangent about the umplata that did this, that transit, and you're just like, so I think for me, I like the interviews just because it's more challenging for me. And I like to see what I can get out of, the different athletes.
Yeah. And you got to think of the fly. You got to watch the fight. You got to know what was going on, come up with one or two questions. So, yeah.
For sure. And I always get mad because people, whenever I tell them I work with you guys, they're like, so you wear one of those outfits and walk around in a circle? No, this ass does not walk around in a circle. No. So that's the only time I'm like, I'm not a green card girl. Like, no.
I should ask you off camera because we do have millions of viewers, but I always ask people out there, if you were in my position or you ran the NFC, what would you do different or more exciting or change up? Like, what would you want to see us do different if you had one or two ideas for someone being around it for so long? And
I
you can
will
hurt
say,
my feelings. It's okay. You can hurt my feelings.
well, we had this like meeting last year, so I feel like there's nothing to hurt your feelings. I can honestly say, I've worked. A lot of people don't know, but I mean, I've worked for a lot of organizations. I've covered a lot. I mean, I've interviewed people from the UFC to the CFA, for every organization, literally in the state of Georgia for the last 15 years, maybe. And one thing I will say is just the consistency in the organization. I went to an event a couple weeks ago, and it was a boxing event. Great. It was super fun. It was a great feel. It was at Buckhead Fight Club. So it was that underground field with Terry Moss's venue. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was just different. So I don't know, I don't know, because it's weird. Like with them, it was like no one cared about what's going on. And what I noticed with our events, everyone's so involved in what's going on. There, it seemed more like just kind of people were hanging out. So that's one thing I noticed that this is something that I think you do incredibly well. I don't know if that's because you or because Jesse and his matchmaking and people are doing that. But that's something I really just want to say that it was really obvious to me how good you were at bringing people in to actually watch the fights. They're there to watch the fights and cheer on their guy. The only thing I can think that we could somehow do different, and I don't even know how this would be possible, is to make people feel more involved in the NFC. Like, oh, I fight for the NFC. So to create somehow that sense of entitlement, like, oh, I'm with the NFC. I think that makes or breaks a lot of it. I mean, obviously you're not locking them down, but I think when people fight for the UFC, they change their Twitter handles and they change, their bios to say that they're a UFC fighter. And I feel like if we could somehow get that, whatever that is, I think that would be like that one missing piece that would just make it seem bigger.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. I've talked to Mitchell down with Combat Night in Florida and gotten some ideas from him. But yeah, I agree with the more entitlement. And the funny thing is sometimes these guys, me and Jesse and everyone allow them to fight on other shows. We want them to fight on other shows out of state. I'm not huge on them fighting on in shows here in Atlanta, but when they do, I never discourage it just because that's the way I am. But I always feel like they might be kind of screwing themselves over. Like if they don't know the promoter, if they don't check out the venue. And I've seen some horrible fights at some horrible, horrible venues. I mean, I've seen a church, I've seen a bowling alley, I've seen like a rec center. And when guys fight on these kind of shitty shows out there, they don't understand it hurts their fan base when they come back to a show like ours that's in a Monday Night Brewing, in a district, in a Tannery Row. Right now, I'm trying to get the battery done at the Braves Stadium for February or March. So, when you fight at a bowling alley or something like that, you're going to lose that fan base that's been to your NFC show. So I agree with you 100%. It's kind of hard to figure out I was talking to Cedric Boswell today in boxing. They do exactly what you're talking about. They lock their fighters down, the multi-fight deals. I've always tried to stay away from doing that. But yeah, it's something I might have to get back to doing.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't know how to to bring that pride. And I know people don't generally just talk smack about us. Like we're known, like we are wherever you are. They're like, oh yeah. I mean, I remember I met this guy back in April that recognized my voice and was like, oh yeah, you work for the NFC, don't you? And I'm like, my voice is extremely distinctive. I do understand that, but that's crazy to me. I've never even heard of this kid. He fought, I guess, on your Muay Thai tournament, however many years ago, and he remembered me because of my voice. So that just shows you how big the name is. And it's just to get them to be like, yeah, I fight for the NFC. You know what I mean?
So I think that was probably about 6 years ago. 6 years ago, you're remembered for your voice. Fast forward to 2022, now you're being remembered for your feet.
This is perfect. I like the way it's going. You know what I mean?
So
I don't need to talk.
So while we're asking about fighters signing and stuff like that, I see DK Brewer, our first guest in the handle here. You're a dance-off competitor. I don't know who won or lost that, but let me go ahead and bring DK in. Can you see us, DK?
Yeah, I can see y'all. What's going on?
What's up, DK? Have you been ever listening to this last few minutes?
Hi, honey.
Yeah. I seen that picture on Instagram. It was nice. The feet.
Oh, you did see the foot photo?
Okay, so do I have really? I do have nice feet.
You should. Yeah, you should. I mean, I would say if you can make some money, you should definitely get into that for sure.
I just had no idea. I'm. Thanks, Boo.
For sure. For sure.
You can get a free membership when I go on.
Okay, I'm in there. I'm gonna just send them to Dave Vitke.
That's not the way OnlyFans works. That's not what friends do to other friends. They don't send
them
free
stuff. We're gonna work it out. We both gonna make money. It's gonna be good.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
So DK is fighting on the January 20th NFC card. Tickets at nfcfighting.com. DK is returning after some time off. You were fighting in a Muay Thai match versus James Smith, 14-8 from Team Octopus.
I am. Team Octopus. Oh, yeah. I know he's been around for a while. He fought for you guys, like, way back, you know, and I got a lot of respect for him. I've never heard nothing bad about the dude, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking to get a knockout. That's my game plan. You know, I got my whole viral thing with submission, but I like to fight, man. I like to bang, and I'm like, damn, I don't got a knockout. I want like a walk-off knockout.
I was going to say, before we go further and start asking you questions, I do have a little video, so we are going to show off your submission of the year, which Jesse Wable calls submission of the decade.
Oh, all right, bet.
See him stalking one to take away that distance, get grimy with it, capitalize on some of the big shots.
Big knee up the middle, but Quincy's on him. And DK is looking to get that high elbow guillotine. That looks uncomfortable. Oh, wow. And a huge slam.
Is it play? I don't even know.
Props to DK. He did not let go at all.
He did not, and it looks like he's got this locked up. This is not a good spot for Quincy Evans here. Referee's checking. Wow. He's out. He is out. DK Brewer takes the huge slam and gets the guillotine.
He may have gotten suplexed, but my man he did not let go, and Quincy Evans is being woken up in the cage. That is a highlight finish. We've never seen one.
Gets slammed big, and then finishes the guillotine.
Okay, that's when the dance battle started. Kim didn't know. I was warming up there. I seen her. I said, yeah, let's go ahead and get that going.
Who won the dance battle?
She won. She's, she the best. She won.
I did. I don't know if I won. I'll say I wasn't ready, but of course, after it, he plays it on Instagram like 100 times. And every time I see it, I'm like, I should have warmed up. Like I could have worn a different outfit. I didn't know. But so then the next time he fought, I was literally in my head, I'm like cheering for him. And I try not to cheer for either competitor, even though I become friends with them. I know it's hard, but I'm like, you've got to win because I'm ready. Like today, I'm ready.
Man, I lost that one. That's exactly why I'm not going back to 55. I was going to bring that up too. That was fucking terrible, dog.
Was the cut terrible?
Yeah, that was my first time doing it. I was hella confident in it. And yeah, 55 did not look good. I went back to my normal job because I took 3 weeks off of my job. And nobody had seen me, and the last thing they seen me was me losing a bunch of weight, and they thought I had cancer or something. So when I came back, they was like, "Yo, I was like, yeah, I told you I had a fight." And they was, bro, we thought you were sick. We thought something happened to you. And so yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to 70. I've been lifting a lot of weights this year with Danny, my main pad holder and coach, and I'm like 70 is where it's at. And also, shout out to Quincy. That was a big moment for me, but he's been crashing through people since then. I think like he's knocked out or finished everybody he's fought since then. So if you're watching this, ain't no rematch. That's it. Go live your career. You're like, maybe if we pro, I'll see you then, but
cut your losses.
Motherfucker got a chip on his shoulder. I seen it.
So that was one of my questions is Quincy is actually on this fight card. Quincy has rolled off 3 wins in a row right now, and he's on this fight card fighting Trace Harper for the vacant lightweight championship.
Yeah.
Naturally, you're not a lightweight anymore, but if something happens to Trace and something happens to your opponent, you're no interest in sliding into that.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, that's just, that's a happenstance. If that happens, then, it is what it is. Like, but I'm like proud of him, bro. I've been watching everything he's been doing, so I'm just kind of rooting for him now. But hell yeah, both of our opponents drop out, I would have to, because I know how hard he works. I'm working hard. Like, ain't no way we both be like, well, we ain't got nobody to fight now. I'm sure he'd be looking like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was to come about. I would definitely be down with that. It would suck because my fat ass ain't making 55 for that title, but yeah, we could definitely run that fight for
You
sure.
could go. Well, what are you going to do? So I know the weight change is definitely different. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't compete, but I fluctuate weight terribly. And it's funny because I don't feel like I look big. And then all of a sudden Dave will post these pictures. I'm like, who the fuck is that? What is that? You know? So I know, and I'm still training, but I'm eating more than I'm training. So I like understand that kind of balance. So what are you doing to ensure that this weight, you're not going to gas out? I know when you put on weight, sometimes it's hard to push through.
Oh, well, the thing is, like 70's always been a good weight for me. Like I used to fight at 85. Back in the day, I go to Muay Thai tournaments. I was fighting like catch weights 190, 185, and then I really started taking it serious, and I got down to about like 180. The thing when I get to 170 is I'm not cutting weight. I'm not like putting stress on my body and cutting water weight. You know, that's me just walking around at 70. So now we went back to the drawing board. I'm lifting more, and now it's gonna be, you know, like a more natural thing, and I'm gonna still be bigger and be stronger at 70. And we're putting the science behind it now versus me just being like, fuck it, like, all right, man, I'm walking around like 75. Let's run it, like, you know. So 55, I did it, and I didn't like it, and you know, maybe like I always tell my coach, like, yeah, if we talking pro, we talking money, yeah, okay, yeah, 55 again. But for now, I want to take care of this James Smith fight, probably knock another one out, then I'll go pro. Then there'll be talks of that 55 realm again. Just depends, but I like 70. I feel like I hit harder at 70. So
when you were talking about your coaches, you're over at Gwinnett Training Academy, but how many gyms? I feel like I see photos of you at all the gyms.
I'm everywhere. That's part of my NFC problem too, because I'm cool with a lot of fighters, and you know, I don't like to bump heads or cause any problems at the gyms I like to go train at. You know, I started with Amir, and you know, and then you know, they obviously, before it was Amir, Douglas, and Diego, and the Lima brothers, and then they split. And, you know, I still had a good relationship with them. But when all that gym splitting and stuff was going on, I was actually with Detroit with Savage Squad. So when all that, I guess the drama and X3 and whatever was going on, I was over there doing my own thing. And I was just cross-training at these places. So I was kind of just, it never really touched base with me. But yeah, for now, I'm with Mir at GTA and Daniel Spain. Shout out to Daniel Spain. He won't take the credit, but he's working with everybody in the city, from Dylan to anybody. So if you need somebody to hit pads with and really put you on game, I just had my like second serious session with him. Threw my whole breakfast up, and it felt good. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, I'm like this is what I need. Like, so yeah, get with Daniel Spain, go train Spain if you want to get right.
And how will these holidays affect you? You know, right now the fight's January 20th.
I caught Thanksgiving, so I'm good.
Because I've never scheduled a fight. I hate doing December. I did December years ago when I had the Toys for Tots and Wild Bills. It was a completely free show.
You did it last year?
I did it a couple years.
Because I had a cute ass outfit on and I was ready this year. And then you were like, no, we're not doing it. I'm like, do you know, I've been working on this ass, David. I've been working on this ass. And you're like, no, we're not doing it.
Why can't you bring the ass out January 20th?
I mean, we will. I'm just going to have to.
Yeah. Just don't wear flip-flops. But yeah, I try not to schedule a show in December. I hate December, and then I lay away from early January, so January 20th. Yeah. So does that give you time to do stuff during Christmas and New Year's and still get back in shape?
I mean, like I said, I caught Thanksgiving. I was able to have a good Thanksgiving and eat and stuff like that. So Christmas, I mean, you know, I'm going to be around the fam, so that's not going to be, I don't really have to party as much. I'm really trying to lock in because, like, I've done enough party. You know, I already told you, you know, what I do outside of the fight stuff. I run a bar. So that, you know, like, I'm trying to stay away from that at this point. That's why I was like, let me get a fight going before life passed me by. And I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just running this bar, and I was like,
and people want to know why you don't want to go out all the time. They're like, don't you want to hang out? You're like, no.
It's like, I'm trying to lock in. I'm trying to be in the house. I literally, like, I live that. It's like, it's not fun anymore. I just had to take care of some drunk, passed out people in the bathroom about 2 days ago. So yeah.
I guess tell us which bar you're at and give us a couple of stories. Because
I'm at
people
the
do love the
Rose.
stories.
I'm at the Rose and Rye ATL. It is a fantastic rooftop bar attached to the Hotel Coley. If you guys have any time, or if you bring up this interview, I will take care of you on the night that you come up there. Or if you mention the NFC. So if you mention the NFC or you mention this interview, you come up there, I'm gonna take care of you. Don't worry, I got you.
Where is it?
It's attached to the Hotel Coley, right behind Lennox on 3377 Peachtree Road.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that's the address. So
Well,
pull up.
I will. I'm going to be in heels, with my feet showing, because clearly
Okay.
who cares about my face
yeah.
card at this point? Just the feet.
There's definitely some older men up there that'll buy you some drinks if you got the feet out for sure.
And when we were talking about the dance off, I am going to show a video, and then you guys can determine who was the winner of that.
All right, bet.
Wow. Hey, look, for fans at home, just know this is not a wrestling ring. That canvas is not soft. When you get slammed on it, you feel it. Underneath there is just plywood, and that's it. And a small mat. Wow.
Okay, I won. I'm not gonna cap. I won that one.
See, I can't. See, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this.
Okay.
This right here is an example why I don't do things like this, because then rumors start. They'll be like, see, I saw how you were dancing with him. Like,
you ain't dance with me like that.
You know what I
just
mean?
gave me
Like,
a
you were
dry-ass
doing
interview
that.
and told me
Like,
bye.
you patted him on. Like, I can't. So I tried, because this is why right there. Then you showed a replay.
My favorite part of the submission video, though, I'm not gonna lie, is Charlene when I'm like up in the air and I come down. She's just like, "Oh shit!" And then she's like, "Wait, he locked the choke in. Let me go get his medal." And I was like, Charlene, my dog. I fuck with Charlene. That shit was crazy though. And Jamonte in the background. Jamonte was going crazy.
Jamonte's been missing in action since about then. I haven't
He's turned
seen
into
him
an
heard
actor.
from.
I'm happy for him too. He's doing crazy stuff. I think he had put up like a police chase video, but it wasn't real. It was like part of a movie. So I'm like, hey, shout out to my boy. I'm happy for him.
I don't know if that was real or fake. I had no idea.
Nah, it was fake. It was fake.
Wait, he was being chased by a policeman?
Yeah, it looked like he was in Florida somewhere or something like that. He was getting chased down by the feds, and then we because everybody was like, we hadn't seen him in a while, so we was like, what the fuck is that? And then we watched it a couple times. It's like, oh, okay, this is like probably part of a music video or something like that. So,
but they shot him with pellets, didn't they?
Yeah, they shot. It was like, but that's what I'm saying. The guns weren't real. Like, it was something else going on. But
I don't ever know what's real.
I hope he's okay.
Bolo.
That's the best info I got from him. I hope he's okay. I hope he's living well wherever he is.
Did you see the Bolo video, Kimberly?
I did. That's why I'm saying I don't know what's real. Like, I didn't.
Oh, he did get shot.
Again, Oblast, him to us is a whole different person than he is in like the real world. Yeah. He is this giant teddy bear. I don't talk to him every day, but if I was stranded on the side of the road and I called that man, he would be the first person to pick up, and either him or like somebody else would come be picking me up on the side of the road. So I wish we had a clip of the shooting, because I can't.
Do y'all know Bolo? Do y'all know Bolo's real name?
Yeah, Dexter.
Me and him have the same name, right? So I'm scared of shit as Bolo, right? First time I met him, and I'm at Knuckle Up, and like he's like, yeah, we're gonna spar, and like, you know what I'm saying, he's walking around, he's being Bolo. So I'm like, he walks up, somebody says my name, he walks up to me, and he's like, hey, and I'm like, what the fuck, dog? He's like, my name's Dexter too, and he like chuckles and walks away. I was like, thank God, bro. I was like, that's my dog now. That's my dog. He fuck with me. So
one of the nicest, kindest men I've ever met.
But it's like, I'm talking about tatted from head to toe. That's not what you expected before you have the conversation with him. But Bolo's a cool dude for sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I dressed up as Bolo at Buckhead Swim like 2 years ago?
That was dope.
I thought a lot of people were going to beat my ass until they saw me and him together and realized.
So you're good. As long if you came up with it, maybe, but you did it right, bro. You did it right. It was good.
Yeah, so I even had to check with Bolo's opponent to make sure his opponent would be cool with that. I was like, hey, I know you're fighting on our turf and it's our show, but one of my good friends is the guy you're about to fight, Bolo. Would it disrespect you if I was to dress up as him? And he said, no, I'm cool with it. And then the next day he beat the shit out of Bolo. So it all ended up being okay. But this past Halloween, For people that don't know, Bolo is kind of, I think some people call it Jamaica where he's at right now. He's kind of in lockup right now, I guess you could say.
Oh,
but I was going to dress up as Bolo this year for Halloween and wear the same outfit, but with an orange jumpsuit.
Oh, no. See, then he going to come out, he going to be mad.
I can't. I'm going to tell you. There's certain things white people can't do, Oblast. That's one of them.
Right now,
I messaged him and he gave me full approval.
But while he's in jail, he can't vouch for you, though. I mean, you need to have him do a TikTok video or something for you to have his backup, because
I would have printed off the IG messages and walked around with them on a sheet of paper.
that's what you need. Yes, that's what you need.
Man.
So tell us a little about January 20th, DK. I'll try to be like Julian now. Why should people come out and watch you January 20th? What are you going to do? Why are you an exciting fighter? Even though we just saw your submission of the decade, why should they come watch you for submission of the decade? Jesse Guable gave it that title.
Man,
why should people come out and watch you versus local guy James Smith?
Man, because James is a game opponent. He's experienced. I'm pretty experienced. I'm coming to fight. I want another viral moment, and I really just want a knockout. Like, I'm not going to be gunning for it, but damn, I want one. Like, I want another highlight reel to, just have. Like, I like to fight. I like to make spectacular moments. Like, I'm not trying to be big and, go crazy and go to the UFC. The craziest thing I want to do is probably go to PFL and run up that $1 million tourney one time, but I just like doing this. I like the camaraderie. I like training. I like performing. I've said this before in different interviews. Like, I like feeling like a superhero. I feel like when they say your name and your people's behind you, like, it's the same feeling of like you're watching a superhero movie and then like the hero shows up and all, everybody gets that good feeling. So I feel good in that moment. I like to go out there and show like, hey, I got hands, man. I like to have a good time. And I think maybe that's been part of my problem. Like, I'm just having a good time. Like, fuck that. I'm going to actually try and hurt this guy. Like, what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be a lot of smiling on this one. I'm going to dance with Kim at the end of it, but I know James is for real, and like, it ain't nothing to play with. So January 20th to come out, because you're gonna see some shit. It's going to be good. Some Stockton shit. Shout out to Jesse. Some 209 shit.
We are ready. I'm ready. I'm definitely excited about it. How important is it for you to get this win after coming off of a loss? Like, is there more pressure? Because I always feel like the undefeated fighters have the most pressure because you're trying to keep that perfect record. But on the flip side, you're coming off a loss.
For me, it's just like, all right, man, I had a good fucking run. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got Fight of the Year last year. And then I had submission of the decade. And then, like, I tried something new and I went to 55. And, like, I picked a guy that I knew was, like, a tough guy. I think he had his own streak going. And it didn't work out. So I was like, fuck it. All right, go back to 70, put some weight on. Let's run it. Like,
let's run it.
Good year.
Let's go.
Like, I'm not gonna let that hold me back.
DK.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. I want to get back on that cage and, do my thing and then it'll all be worth it. Then, going out and partying, then it'll be worth it. You got to earn something. I'm trying to get it in blood, and it just makes it more worth it. You know what I'm saying? When you work hard for some shit and then it works out, everything's better. The food's better, the drink's better, life is better. Things are just better when you
the bitches are better. Winning bitches are better. I'm just saying.
That's why I kiss my dog.
If you have the losing bitches, send them my way.
Yeah, that's like the day squad at Hooters.
Yeah.
You want the winning bitches.
The winning bitch, right? You look, because look, if you walk in with a black eye and you won, it's like a pussy multiplier. But if you walk in and you lost, then you might still, but it's gonna be some pity. Like you're getting it off this like, oh damn, like what happened? He got his ass beat. I'm finna take him to the house. Like,
I'll take the loser. Come on, I'll take the loser.
And it's like, and it's always like the last girl that didn't get picked up. That's the one. Are you okay? Yeah, that's the one you're calling.
While we've been talking, it was Corey Jackson that posted on here a comment. I'm pulling up. I need a fifth of Hennessy, my boy.
In the animal.
And then you got Michael Fortner, who's fighting on the same card. Mike Fortner said, DK ain't going to steal my night.
Oh, look, Mike is my dog. But shout out to Michael Fortner, bro. We started in the mud, and I don't care what nobody got to say about Mike, bro. Mike is a straight-up gangster, bro. I don't care about nothing nobody's talking about. He's been my dog since day one, and y'all can look back at any post I've been out. Always defended Mike. He comes to fight. He's a dog, and he's a good person. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Corey. That is my Indiana homie. He better come with the Henny because he better throw it to me. I'm going to be at the cage. You better just throw it. I'm going to catch it. I swear to God, I'm going to catch it. Don't worry about it.
Not with Nate Mann. He'll be like, nope, no contest.
Nate Mann got to catch me. He gotta catch me. I'm gonna be.
I hope he's not listening.
What else does he have on a Monday night? Come on.
He got. And we had the brewing. And my Indiana boy gonna throw me up some Henny. Yeah, okay.
Have you been to Monday Night Brewing yet? Did you go for the pass fight?
I checked it out, and then I was with. See, I know so many people. I was with Nathan Rivera, who got that crazy knockout at the last one. I just was with him. He's the one who told me he was trying to move over the battery. I said, so I got to clean house with this dude. I got to hop on the next car because the battery is going to be crazy.
It is.
Insane.
You're doing your thing. I seen her ask. I guess you asked her like, "What could you do better?" I don't know what the pay's like yet, but overall, the shit dope, bro. Ain't nobody else getting their venue recorded on Cobra Kai and doing stuff like that. So you're doing your thing. I don't know the ins and outs. I mean, I'm sure people got their qualms with you, and I'm sure I'll figure that out later when I go pro. But you solid to me. NFC solid. I love Jesse. I love all y'all. Julian, that's a stand-up Negro right there. Love Julian. Shout out to him for sure. So
appreciate it. Yeah, I think the venues are what I take a lot of pride in. Jesse does the fights, we kind of split up everything else, but the venues from Cowboys, the Wild Bills, a Center Stage, Monday Night Brewing, Tannery Row, District, and now the Battery. I think every venue we use, I try to make sure is absolutely top notch, and that's kind of what I take pride in at the NFC. Not only the organization, everything that you guys are all taking care of, and when you come to weigh-ins, you know what's going on. It's in the timely process, the forms, all electronic. The venue, we get there, everything's run the way you guys need it. So organization,
except for that one commission dude, he's a dick. I'm not going to say his name, but I feel like y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyways, that everything's great, but that guy. But he runs the show. I gotta respect him. But man, whatever.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't watch this. That's the problem.
Sweet. Well, we've got Akeem Bashir waiting on the pen right now.
We're
going to bring him up next. What do you think about Akeem Bashir? Do you get to train with him often before I let you go?
Yo, Keem is like a modern day hippie, bro. He's nothing but a good vibe. Like he comes around and like he could be in the room, he just start laughing. You just gonna start laughing with him. You don't even know why you laughing. Like he's all zenned out and peaceful, and he loves the training. He's the same way with me. It's like it's all about the experience and the moments, and ain't even about the wins or the losses. We love to win, but he's just having a good time. That's my boy. I fuck with Keem, bro.
Appreciate you taking the time to join us, and I'm sure we'll share 100 emails in the next month, but hope you have a happy holiday, and we see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, man.
Start stretching, start practicing.
I'm ready, boy. And I'm gonna hit some rolls. You're not ready, Kim. You're not ready. I'm gonna get up with y'all though.
Peace. Right now, Julian's probably watching going, what the fuck happened to the show?
He's loving it. We are a whole vibe. I don't know about anyone else, but this is a vibe right now.
I agree. I mean, with him, I know when I'm doing it with him, his Jenna Lee's in the other room and his daughter's in the other room, so I try not to cuss. He doesn't cuss. I'm glad we can do whatever we want right now.
I'm just so inappropriate. That's probably why I'm alone right now in a room. I don't know. And people call me a bro. This is my life.
Yeah. Well, let's bring in Akeem the Dream. I see him sitting in his car right there. Akeem, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Hi.
Hey, Kimberly, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
How you feeling? How's the training going so far?
Everything good. I actually just left the gym. I tagged in a little bit late because I was trying to speed to the house so y'all wouldn't have to see me goddamn out here on the road like that. But everything good, man.
Before we get going with you, I've got the video to play here, courtesy of our man Jesse Wabel. I believe it is your triangle win in your pro debut over Mike Wilson. So we're going to show this, and then you tell us what happened.
Cosme, and he believes that he was sold a little short in that fight.
Oh my God, call him sicko mode, because he is out.
I mean,
That's
wrong video.
not me.
I fucked up. That ain't you. I fucked up. Give me 1 sec.
He's looking to pass the side control again. Nice head pressure from Mike Wilson. He is busted open. The left side of Mike Wilson's face is busted open. Akeem looking for a triangle. Triangle. elbows. He's landing strikes while he's got him in this triangle. He needs to cut the angle. That's tight. That is a tight triangle by Hakeem Bashir. They're talking to each other. Was that it? That's the fight, Hakeem Bashir.
You remember that?
Yeah, most definitely.
I remember watching it, and I had no idea what happened at the end. I couldn't see the sub. I couldn't see him tap out. Seemed like the announcers didn't even know what happened there.
Yeah, so that's what happened. I put the triangle in. I ain't have it all the way. I wasn't pulling his head down and everything, but I had done hit him with a couple of elbows. He was already split open. And as I started to continue to squeeze, like I definitely had it in tight, but I wasn't pulling down on his head, so it wasn't all the way like 100% in, but I definitely had it locked. And once I hit him with a couple of elbows, he kind of subtly tapped, and you know what I'm saying? I kind of started letting off. And then the ref stepped in like, whoa, what's this happening? I was like, Mike, you tapped, right? He was like, yeah, I tapped. So, you know what I'm saying? There was a moment of honesty. And I ain't let him completely go, but I stopped throwing the elbows, and I'm like, hey, we finished, ain't we? Because, you know how they'll tell you in the back, don't stop until the ref stop it. And clearly the ref didn't see it. If I'm not mistaken, I think his hand was kind of like caught in between, so he kind of like tapped on the inside. It wasn't like very clear and visible, but I kind of we was having like a little baby conversation, like, hey, Mike, be honest now, don't goddamn get up playing these funny games. But nah, man, Mike Wilson's a stand-up guy. He went ahead and told him, he tapped, stood up, it was over.
I mean, I would also like to give you credit that you're a stand-up guy and not keep pulling, because many people would keep pulling even though you felt the tap.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like that, like in all honesty, they do tell you in the back, don't stop until the ref come and stop you and all this and all that. But I don't play no funny games and shit. Like I said, at the end of the day, if he would have tried to act like he didn't do it, shit, I still kind of had him locked in, so I would have just hit him with some more elbows and shit. I would have probably been aggravated at that point, like, oh, motherfucker, you're trying to cheat.
So Eric Bullock, that used to live here and did our cage, I don't know if you remember him, big 6-foot guy. He just said Max's son, Max Castillo, so shout out to Max for watching this. Max wants to see Hakeem hit that Dragon Ball Z pose.
Dragon Ball Z pose? What's that exactly? What, like going Super Saiyan or something? I'm definitely going Super Saiyan. Huh?
I don't watch anime.
I'm not heavy on the anime, but I'm definitely in on Dragon Ball Z. And I'm going Super Saiyan on the 20th for sure.
I love it. It was. I will say this: that fight in particular, it was the most lackluster celebration. It was like, okay, I won. It was like crazy. It was like you dunk on someone and just did a walk off. Like,
look, I'm not. My bad. Let me get y'all some light back going in here.
Your engine's gonna die and you're gonna be stuck.
I was like, is that a fire alarm?
Nah, I'm good. I'm at the house, man. Ain't nothing gonna die. I just been sitting in the car for a minute, so it just cut itself off. But like, I'm not the most celebratory guy, like in the moment. Now, when it's all over and I go to the back, I'm talking big shit. When I get to the house, we popping bottles. It's celebrating time. But like right there in the moment, like I'm a pretty humble guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really just enjoy the moment. Like, fights are dead ass serious to me. Like, leading up to fights, I'm excited. I'm nonstop, you know what I'm saying, preparing for them. Like you can easily see my happy when I'm not in there. When I'm in there, that shit be a whole different version of me, and that shit is like dead ass serious and all business. Even when it's over, it's like shit. Ain't nothing funny in the ring, goddamn. Like shit. You seen Lewis incident, like shit still might be going down, man. Like shit. Never know. So, you know, I don't know. I'm a little bit, like you said, lackluster when it comes to celebrating and all this and all that, but
it's just funny because we just saw DK celebration. So it's just a funny transition from the DK Brewer celebration when he damn near broke his leg jumping onto the thing with a full dance routine to yours like, good job.
Look, that's how I feel on the inside, man. But, you know, I do this whole martial artist type mindset, man. And, like, that shit is really, like, in me. So, you know, I'm like that on the inside, but I definitely ain't doing no dance moves and shit. Maybe I should though. I've been telling myself, man, that like I be having too much fun on the inside of me for no one to be able to see that I'm having fun. And I really kind of don't like that shit.
Well, we're ready. You've got time. Work on some dance moves. You can link up with DK, as he said. He'll get you ready. He'll get you right, because if you dance with me at the end, you're going down. It's going to be like you got served right there in the cage.
Oh, no. Like, see, that's what I'm saying? No, I ain't finna get into nothing like that. So I'm going to just, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit him with the simple hand raise. You know what I'm saying? Throw my hands up. You know, I did it again.
Can you still hear us? I think your microphone might have just went out.
Yeah, I think somebody was trying to call me. It's all good. I'm back.
You're good now. So while we were talking, so Corey Jackson said, you know, the pose you hit in the gym every day picture. So I guess that's that Dragon Ball Z that Max was talking about.
Oh, yeah, man. Shit. Yeah, I definitely do. I definitely go Super Saiyan in pictures and shit. I try not to just like stand there and look regular. Like every time I'm in the picture and there's something going on, man, like I want it to be a snapshot of an anime pose. Like everybody else be looking regular, they're shooting the deuces, this and that. Then the picture come out, I'm in the back like this. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what they want you to do.
That's what they want.
That's the winning pose.
Oh no, I went like he want me to do it in the ring. I'll do that shit in the ring. When I come out there, I'm gonna let everybody see the Super Saiyan transformation before I lock in. Cause that's what I'm saying. When I get there on fight night and shit, I'll be locked the fuck in, man. It don't be nothing to play about. I'll be dead ass serious.
As you should be.
Yeah.
Which do you enjoy more? I saw you up at the Areas fight night that we did with Conflict in Areas a couple weeks ago in Tennessee. You were working the corner of Ronald Humphrey and one or two other guys. Which one do you enjoy more for you personally? Coaching guys and training them how to fight, or actually fighting yourself?
I definitely enjoy fighting more than I can't say that. I've learned to really start to get an enjoyment out of cornering and coaching, like for real, which is I never like. It didn't start out as the plan, but I've kind of grown into that role a little bit. Like I've been around the gym a little bit of time. Like I'm I would say one of the senior members at the gym who's like kind of just like I said, I've been at ATT Atlanta for like 7-8 years almost. So like you say, the newer guys kind of look at me like, you know what I'm saying, like the baby OG. And you know what I'm saying? Like I've grown into the role and I appreciate it. And you know what I'm saying? I definitely get enjoyment out of it, but it ain't nothing like going in there for yourself, man. It ain't nothing like going in there for yourself, man. You can't replace that.
I hope your opponent, Jamal, doesn't watch this. I believe that's his name, Jamal Johnson. But how are you such a nice dude, but then you get in the cage and you willfully beat the shit out of someone in a cage fight? Like, how do you make that transition?
Oh, man, it's simple, man. Like, if I don't, he gonna beat my ass.
You're right. You're right.
That's it's simple as hell, man. I can be nice, try and shake his hand and push my hand out the way, tell me he gonna beat the hell out of me, knock me out in front of my family and all this and all that. That could be true or it could not be true. But at the end of the day, fighting is literally that simple. If you so scared or if you so nervous that you get in there and just stand there, you finna get the brakes beat off of you. And you just gotta pray to God that the referee, you know what I'm saying, don't dislike you and he don't let you take a couple of extra ones. You know what I'm saying? Just cause all that lip you had in the back, you know what I'm saying? Shit, you know, you got some referees where it's like, oh man, I thought you was still in there. They be hammer fisting you and all this and all that. Hey, look, fighting is simple as hell, man. The other guy on the other side want to beat your ass. Like there's no confusion. It's not, you know, a lot of people say, you play basketball, you play football, you don't play fighting, right? But like that's exactly what it is. Like in the basketball game, you can be up 30-0. You know what I'm saying? First quarter. You still got to play all 4 of those quarters out. You still got some time where, you know, you might get the pep talk at halftime and the coach dial you back in and you come out motivated. When it's fighting, man, you can train for 6 months and then go out there and get Jose Aldo, man, in like 15 seconds, get dropped the first punch. So, like, it ain't no time to be kind of like hesitating and all this and all that, man. I tell guys, if you're going to do that, man, look, just go ahead and slide out the back door. When they start calling your name, you know what I'm saying? You gone and like, man, what the hell happened to a king, man? Like, man, fuck that shit. I'm out of there, man. I ain't doing that shit no more. But
do you think some guys are fighting too early in their career? Do you think some trainers are throwing guys out like meat too early?
That's hit or miss. Like every individual got their own circumstances where, you know, sometimes guys are ready and you can tell in the gym when certain guys are just ready. And then you got other guys where it's like, you know, they need more work. And they be like, no, coach, put me in the game. Coach, put me in the game. And it's like, nah, man, you ain't ready yet. I'm going to let you know. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you really don't know until you put somebody out there and it's like, shit, we both finna see what happened in your first fight. It was kind of like that with me. Like, my first fight, goddamn, I know my coaches was worried like a motherfucker. Like, not worried as in I didn't train or I wasn't, like, putting in the work. But, like, shit, what I look like in the gym is not what I look like on fight night.
I honestly, well, it's funny that you say that because I don't know in this, and I am a woman. I am a competitor. I've been training Muay Thai since 2003. People don't even know that. But that's one issue that I honestly see a lot with women fighters is they come in and it's like, how did you train? Who was training you? Like, did you just take kickboxing fitness class and then come in here? That's something I notice more with women that come and fight. Not all of them, but often that it's like, they're not ready. I'm like, I don't know who said this is a good time to start. And then when they get hit, it's like, I mean, every game plan changes.
Oh shit! We fighting.
Yeah, I'm like, did no one hit you in practice? Because you needed to have been hit. You needed to have your ass beat in practice before you came here. You know what I mean? You have to.
So, like, rationally thinking, I don't think nobody gets sent in there and they haven't been through that. But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you think you're ready for a fight until like just because you can get punched on in sparring and like your pride ain't on the line in sparring. Like, a little bit of it is, like, you know what I'm saying, that inner voice where you don't want nobody to beat your ass ever. Like, that's kind of in the gym. Like, but that should be like a little low voice in the back of your head, and you get humbled so many times in the gym that you just kind of like, oh man, you know, that's what happens here. You get beat up at the gym. But when it's like your friends and your family out there, and you know what I'm saying, the lights on, they don't hit the lights, it be like, boom, oh man, everybody going crazy. You get to looking around, they call your name, you be like, who, me? Like, hell yeah, you. They playing your music, they said your name, what you waiting on? And it be like, yo, coach, what I do? Man, fight. And that's what it is sometimes. Like in people's mind, like there is a disconnect between training and going out there on fight night, and you don't know that you're ready until you get out there and it's going. Like I said, you can put in 6 months of a training camp, hard work, and this and that, and then go out there on fight night and freeze up like a popsicle stick. Then you get your ass beat in front of your family and your friends. It be folks from goddamn school that you ain't seen in 10 years, and it's like, oh, dang, you made it. You here? And then you go out there and you freeze up. And you're like, oh shit. Hey everybody. And you goddamn boom, 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 you get pulverized. Yeah, and then shit, them be the folks who they don't even come back no more, man. They be like, man, I'm done with that shit, man. I ain't doing that no more.
It's funny seeing all the comments that come in. There's been like 5 people that have said Akeem speaking facts. Michael Forder just said, laughs out loud, Akeem is crazy as hell, love training with him. Yeah, I haven't been in a fight since 2nd grade, so I don't even know what the hell I'm doing in this sport. I'm in the wrong sport.
No, man, most people haven't, man. Most people haven't. Even people who train to fight and shit, the last time they actually got into a fight since they started training probably has been quite some time. And even if you do fight all the time and the last time you was fighting in high school and you just graduated last year, that shit different when it's goddamn, you know what I'm saying? You know, people don't pay their people. Hell yeah, and they done paid their money. Like shit, hey man, look, one thing you know people care about is their time and their money. And you be like, God damn. Like, oh damn, you showed up. Who got you out the house, boy? And be like, you, and you better knock his ass out. Be like, shit. I swear to God, I'm gonna try.
I will say, going back in time to my one jiu-jitsu match, my first, last, and then I retired against Germonte.
You won.
I think before that match, I swallowed about half a bottle of Pepto-Bismol because a lot of people don't know I have IBS, and that's irritable bowel syndrome. It means when you got to shit, you got to shit. You don't have a lot of time to find a bathroom. So I knew the worst thing I could do is quit in that match, get submitted and embarrassed in 30 seconds, or do okay but shit my pants in the middle of the match. I've seen a girl pee her pants at the NFC, but I've never seen anyone shit their pants. And I did not want to be the first person. So it was about 6 Advils and half a bottle of Pepto in the dressing room before that match happened. So yeah,
I mean,
the best part to me was the walkout. The walkout to the match. It wasn't even a cage. It was just a mat. I had Archie Eversole, who's unfortunately now passed away. He kind of led me in the walkout or whatever. But I had 100% interest in the walkout. That was planned. The match, I had no idea what was going to happen. But the walkout for me was the best part.
I feel like your walkout song is always going to be the best. That in the way, but you also won.
I did, but I still think someone paid Germonte to take a dive.
Germonte is not that good on the ground. I said what I said. I'm sorry. I said what I said.
And Germonte damn sure ain't taking no dive either.
No,
are you kidding your ass, David?
No, you won, and you won fair and square. I was there. I saw it. I synced it, as they would say, and you killed that. I was surprised too. I'm not gonna lie, but you did kill it. You killed it.
Definitely a big shout out for you doing that, man. Cause like that was kind of cool to kind of witness and everything. Like the promoter actually getting in there. I remember that one time Dana White was supposed to have been fighting that nigga Tito Ortiz. Yeah, man. And I wanted to see that just to, you know what I'm saying, see how it was gonna go. I was almost certain Tito was gonna start him, but it still would have been admirable to see somebody of that level, like kind of.
It was great. It was great. I mean, but people
normalized.
People ask me. I'm gonna tell you this. My weight says no. I don't know. We can't even find a girl in my weight class at this point. People don't understand how weight works. But
what
we're
about
not
you
going to do
versus
that.
Charlene?
But I'm going to support. Yeah, Charlene weighs as much as my legs. So what we're not going to do is that.
If we throw weight out and just put you and Charlene in a fight, who wins?
You guys would want Jello wrestling and something hot with feet. It's too much.
So, Akeem, before we let you go, January 20th, you're fighting Jamal Johnson. He's got 11 fights. You've got 3 fights. Know anything about Jamal?
Not at all, man. I ain't looked up no tape or nothing like that, man. I was just so excited to get a fight, and they accepted and signed the contract, man. I ain't give a damn. I don't got turned down so many times. I was desperate. Shit, anybody who signed the contract, I damn near wanted to thank the man. Like, hey, man, thank you, because boy, this shit goddamn ain't right, man. I was supposed to fight for y'all a long time ago, man, and I'm just happy to fight in the city again. Like, I've been fighting all goddamn across the United States and shit, taking my show on the road. So I'm just happy to be fighting back at home in Atlanta. I feel like the NFC has forgotten about me. But shit, I'm back.
We are ready for you. We have not forgotten about you. What can you tell your fans, your friends, your family to get them to come out to this fight in January?
Oh, man, it's like that song Jeezy got, man. You mentioned my name, you bring the whole city out. So shit, I ain't fought here so long that, you know what I'm saying, the anticipation is already built up. They've already seen all the work I've been putting in on the road. I'm doing shit over here, shit over there, and they always in my inbox like, man, when you gonna fight in the city again? Whenever you do, I'm there. Whenever you fight in the city again, I'm there. Well, shit, I'm fighting in the city again, January 20th, and shit, they're gonna be there, man. I plan to have a good turnout, man. We should see a significant amount of my people in the building. Shit, y'all might see some folks that y'all ain't seen in a while or something like that. Like, bringing the city out for sure.
And I know you've already sold some tickets out there, so we appreciate your time. It's an all-ages venue, Friday, January 20th, Monday Night Brewing, the garage location on the west side. Akeem the Dream, Bashir versus James.
Yes,
and last question I had for you, unless Kimberly has any more, how did you get the nickname The Dream? Who gave it to you?
That boy David, man. I'll go ahead and give you credit for that, David. I think I was what show was that? I think it was amateur. Yeah, it was that. Nah, it was that. Yeah, it was when I was an amateur. It was that legacy card on the legacy card
in Greenville, South Carolina. You beat a guy.
Yeah, man.
Pooty.
Boy, boy. That was a scary ass fight right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Boy. Hey, look, when you look up your opponent and his real name is Deliverance, it's like, damn, he finna deliver my soul to the God. It's like, man, I got a regular name. I got like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. Like,
at least you have Akeem. That's like that might be a little. I'm Kimberly. How intimidating is that?
David.
No, man. Somewhere David said Akeem the Dream. I was like, shit, yeah, put that on the paper. Akeem the Dream. Hell yeah, run it. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna be a Super Saiyan or goddamn the Annihilator or you know what I'm saying? The Head Buster. Some gangster.
The Dream. I love it. I love it.
It definitely embodies my spirit.
Did none of your other friends watch basketball, the Houston Rockets, Hakeem the Dream?
Everybody knows Hakeem the Dream, a larger one, but I feel like the name has taken a refreshing course, and it's, you know what I'm saying, is renewed within me, and it has I'm not gonna say a more defining purpose, but the purpose of the name is definitely there, because man, honestly, every time I get out there and fight, I definitely have to realize and consider that I'm living my dreams, man. I've dreamed of moments that I'm out here creating. I've dreamed of moments where, you know what I'm saying, I'm in a packed stadium or a venue and the announcer calling my name and they play my music and I walk out there and folks going crazy. I'm dapping up my partner. Like, I've dreamed of moments like this. So it's an embodiment of how I truly feel, man. And it was just fitting. So I hats off to you on that, David. You called it out, and I ran with it.
Well, we love having you. I'm actually glad that you came on this podcast so people that don't know you can see your fun personality. Because if you just watch that video, I don't know what you might think. But
yeah, man.
I know now
I
they think
ain't like this on
differently.
fight night. Yeah, I'm not like this on fight night. You gotta catch me when I'm cornering somebody. If I'm cornering somebody, then you can kind of get a little piece of my personality. Me on fight night? Oh no, I'm a borderline a damn zombie, man. Goddamn, I'm ready to goddamn fight. Shit,
I think that's what sucks for.
funny.
That's what sucks for me as well, putting on the events. During fight night, I'm stressed to the max. I'm running around doing this or that. And everyone's like, damn, Dave Obel is the most boring son of a bitch I've ever met in my life. But they don't realize the day everyone else there have drinks, get drunk, try to get laid, have a good time this and night is the one night I'm actually working. So same exact to you. Get us on the night we're not working. We're more fun people.
Right.
Well, look, David, how about this, man? I want to try and put this on you, man. I know you're going to be busy that night and everything, and I ain't trying to make myself seem special or whatever. But, man, when it's my time to fight, man, sit your ass down, take a break, man, and tune in. I'm going to try and do something. What that boy DK said, I'm trying to do something ESPN worthy. Nigga trying to go viral. Shit, one way or another. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to try and make that motherfucker spectacular. You hear me?
Well, you will be because you are. Do you know? Okay, before we let you go, I have to know. It's kind of what Dave was talking about earlier. Do you know what your walkout song is, like way ahead of time, or are you just like vibing at a training, doing cardio or something, and then a song comes on and you're like, "That's the one."
Look, I ain't gonna lie. That shit used to stress me the hell out, man. Like, look. Back in my amateurs, I used to be less worried about the actual fight when it came to fight week, and I used to be stressed the hell out about what I'm gonna walk out to. But like I said, I've dreamed of these moments, so that shit I need that shit to be epic. Goddamn, like when the music play, I need it to be fitting of the moment, like. So I ain't gonna lie, right now, I already know what I'm walking out to.
Well, I need you to figure that out so you're not stressed during January.
Yeah, no, look, I already got my walkout song, man. I'm already locked in. I gotta try not to play it too much before the fight comes. That way it don't null down in my head. It needs to kind of get me where I want to be, but it's gonna be lit, man. From the walkout song and everything. I probably ain't gonna be doing no dance moves, but one of my main goals, dead ass serious for this fight, for real. I'm a very realistic person, and I always go into it thinking like win, lose, or draw, whatever. I'm coming to fight, like dead ass serious. A lot of people come to win. Everybody come to win. Most people only come to win. Like they be all goddamn acting like nigga, you might lose, but win, lose, or draw. I definitely want everybody who see me and who know me and, you know what I'm saying, who ain't never had a chance to see me. I want to look like I'm happy to be there. I don't want to look like goddamn, like all locked in and zoned out like I usually be, man. I want to look like this is everything that I dreamed of. Like I wanted to look that way. I don't want to have to explain it because I don't talk that much.
Well, appreciate your time. I see Earl McKinney next on the podcast in the hamper right now, and I don't want your battery to die in the car right there. I don't want to be responsible.
Oh no, my battery ain't gonna die, man. I've been driving all day, man, putting in work.
That's what everyone says right before their battery dies. I've seen that movie.
Oh shit. It's all good, man. Thank y'all for having me on, man.
Look forward to January.
Of course. It'll be great.
All right, bye. Sometimes I just got to click the button to remove somebody as they keep talking. Julia made fun of me for that, but
well, it's like the Emmys. Whenever they're giving a speech and they're still talking, if you're taking too long,
and blame it on the other person. So, as we've been talking, I've noticed Troy 15, Arkansas 12.
Well, so, if you don't notice, my eyes keep going like this. I definitely turn the game on behind the camera. So I am up, and our star player is now in the game, Nick Smith Jr. He's potentially going number 3 in the draft, one and done. So we'll see. This is his first game playing after 7 games. So it's a big one right now.
So people don't know if they missed the beginning. Kimberly's sister is married to Eric Musselman,
Yes.
the head coach of Arkansas Razorbacks basketball.
So, yes. I
Sweet.
love sports. I'm a psycho.
Let us bring in Earl McKinney on here. I see him waiting for a little while there. Earl, where are you at?
I am in my car outside my gym.
Okay,
We've got
where's
2
your
out of 3
light?
in the
I know
car.
you're not that. I'm a black person. I know you're not that black that I can't see you, bro. I mean, for real. I know I'm light skinned with freckles, but like, come on now. Come on. Give me a
All right.
little something.
Can you see me better?
Like literally, you're like Wesley Snipes right now.
I'm not that dark now.
No, you're not. But I'm saying what we see right now is a black splotch.
Okay.
Oh, there. Yes.
There we go.
All right.
You're too handsome to be hidden. Get in the light. Come to me.
Thank you.
So before we hit you in too much and start grinding you, I'm going to show your video, which hopefully you'll be able to view on your phone. Your video of a knockout in the NFC a little while ago.
Salman Cosme, and he believes that he was sold a little short in that fight.
Oh my God, call him sicko mode, because he is out.
I mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember who that was versus?
That was Mr. Damien there.
You knocked out and beat him about the nicest guy in the NFC the last 10 years.
Yeah. He was a cool dude, man. It was a pleasure to share the ring with him, man. Cage.
When you knock out a guy like that, do you guys still talk afterwards? Have you guys communicated, or after a little while does that run its course?
I think it runs its course, but once you share the cage with somebody, you're kind of always interlocked with them. So we're still cordial every now and again. We haven't recently spoke or anything like that, but again, I definitely no bad blood. It was a pleasure to share the cage with him. So.
And for people that don't know, Earl McKinney, you train out of Stryker Fight Center. You're 5-1 now. I was actually looking at your record, and you kind of fought a who's who in Atlanta. You beat Justin McCullum, you beat Leroy Hinton, you beat Anthony Angel, who is one of the best wrestlers in Georgia in the NFC. You knocked out Damian Whitehead. You beat Joel Winters on an Arias FS card. Your only loss is to Malcolm Wellmaker in our Macon show a few months ago.
And he's undefeated, right?
Yeah, he's undefeated, and he's now a pro guy. You've got one of the best resumes of amateur fighters probably in the city of Atlanta right now.
Well, dang, I didn't even. I'll let everybody else say stuff like that. I just want to keep doing my job, keep training, stay focused, because I'm trying to do bigger things than that.
What is your goal in the sport of MMA? As you say, bigger things. What do you want to ultimately accomplish?
I just want to be known, man. I want to be like, I want the McKinney name to go strong in the community of fighting. Anytime somebody sees me, says my name, being the greatest is attached alongside to it. So that's just something that really drives me every day. So that's what I want to do. Everything will come along with it. Being able to support my family and all that. That's just a blessing alongside of that.
With the family, Dave and I kind of been talking with everyone. How hard is it to watch your weight, maintain the fitness level, keep up with the cardio, the weights, the sparring during the holidays when everyone else is just living their best life, drinking, getting lit, smoking weed, whatever these people are doing? I'm not doing those things, but those people are doing. How do you stay on track?
It's not too hard for me. I've been pretty disciplined from a young kid. So, my dad, my grandpa, they instilled in me, like, if you're going to do something, you better do it like you love it all the time. I know that's a famous quote for someone else, but, when they said it to me, it really rung true. So, when I see, the types of sacrifices that I do have to make, I make sure I'm put in a position where, it isn't a difficult task, so. Again, it really isn't hard for me to just, hey, I got to do this, You know, because
Was
when I
it
set my
like
mind to something,
do you eat healthy normally? Because some people just naturally just like healthy food.
man, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I eat healthy. I slick eat what I want, but again, when it comes to like fight camp and being fight ready, you know, I'm able to flip the switch and you know, transition to something a bit better for my body.
Better for your body. So what's your like vice? Do you do a cheat meal? Do you do 6 days on, 1 day off? Do you do all meals on, only one cheat meal a week? What do you what's your
So typically when I'm getting closer to a fight or anything like that, I try to switch to more things like chickens, baked foods, broccolis, you know, just whole green things, and just staying light on that.
Have you checked out your opponent, Kamiko Hall, at all? I know nothing about him except he's from South Georgia. Jesse told me he's a badass from South Georgia, and I've got a video of him with a knockout. But have you checked him out at all?
Oh, always. Anybody I face, I mean, I assume they're a badass. So, yeah, I know about him. I know he's a long guy. He likes to punch it out. So, I'm excited about it.
That's one thing no one's ever referred to me as a long guy. But I'm going to go ahead and show the Kamiko video. I think it's about 10 seconds, and show his knockout and see what you think. Have you seen that video before?
I've seen it. Again, I as you can see in the clip, he likes to punch it out. So, you know, fist will be flying, and again, one of us is gonna go down. It's just my job to make sure it's him.
That's what, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a stand-up battle. So that's obviously one thing I'm always wondering is, are you going to, if you're pretty good on the ground? I mean, we've seen you go. I know you're versatile. Is that something that you focus more so on, or do you focus more on stand-up because you figure it's going to be a stand-up battle?
To be quite real with you, I don't care. You know, I've wrestled at a pretty high level in college, so it's never anything for me to go to the ground or to keep it standing. I'm pretty comfortable everywhere personally, so whether he wants to go to the ground or stand up, it's a problem for you either way.
Where did you wrestle? And I would have thought you're still in college. You look pretty young. I don't know if that's a compliment or a slap, but how old are you, and where did you wrestle at college?
So I'm 24, but I wrestled in Canada at a university called Algoma. I had pretty good strides for a freshman and everything. We did freestyle up there, but I've been wrestling since high school as well. So, yeah, I went to college in Canada, wrestled in university. Again, went against a lot of really good guys up there as well. So, yeah, that's pretty much it about that.
And again, for people watching, this is Earl McKinney, 5-1 out of Stryker Fight Center, fighting January 20th for NFC Georgia Bantamweight Championship. I know you can't see him, but he's the guy on the right. Next time we have you on, I'm bringing you over, and you're going to be in my living room where I have lights over.
Okay, fair enough.
You're the first person we've had from Stryker Fight Center on the podcast. Talk about that. We love Byron Lavorne over there, Gina. They've also got 10th Planet over there. Talk about a little bit that atmosphere and what that's like.
Man, I can say from day one, they treated me like family. Byron and Gina really just, they make the whole environment like this family oriented. It's always, hey, how you doing? You know, they're just always checking up on you. They've always made it easy for me to train there when I, you know, didn't really have the funds to even train, you know. So I owe a lot to just them being able to, you know, let me use their facility and everything. And as far as Stryker and everything, I'm just happy you guys gave me a platform to represent Stryker, you know, because there's a lot of us, man, that really just, you know, we're gonna make a lot of noise. So it's just, I want to make sure I'm representing them correctly and making sure I'm always putting them on a pedestal as well. Because again, without them, I wouldn't even be here, man. And then with Tiff Planet, Sean and Chase, man, they're just they're gurus. Like anytime you go in there, same thing. It's just like it's like your family, man. It's just always joking around, laughing. Some of the goofiest, intelligent people that will literally break every ligament, muscle, bone in your body. But again, it's never an ego thing over there, So it's just you're just happy to learn,
Yeah.
But overall, it just feels good to be over here,
Do you live up there?
I live close to it. I live in like Sandy Springs, kind of.
No, that's not close to it. Is it?
About 30 minutes.
That's not close.
Our definition
it's like
of close
far away. So that's why I live in Decatur, but anybody to me that trains or works up 75, I'm always assuming, I'm like, do you live next to the gym? Like Kenny Kim's gym, when we do stuff there, I'm like, this is literally in Florida. Like it feels so far away to me.
Well, ever since I started training, like seriously, I've always made like that 30 to 40 minute drive. So I'm kind of used to it. In my eyes, it's worth it. So, again, I guess you say another one of those sacrifices till, you make it to the big shows here.
I was going to ask how you ended up there. You wrestled in college in Canada. You now live in Sandy Springs. From Sandy Springs to Stryker in Kennesaw is
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're probably driving past 5 other gyms. How did you end up?
Literally, you pass
Stryker?
Octopus, you pass. I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, X3, Kenny Kim, all of them.
Well, I'll say, when I came from Canada, I stayed with my parents and they lived in Kennesaw. So it was more so closer to Stryker at that point. But it was still that 30 to 40 minute drive. But really it's just, again, with the environment that I was in, because they were so welcoming, because they were so knowledgeable, and it was just such a fun thing to learn and experience everybody over there. I stayed loyal, and I stuck with it.
Your toughest fight was the Malcolm Wellmaker fight, and you took it close to 2 hours away from your gym down in Macon. What did you learn in that fight versus a guy like Malcolm, who's now 2-0 for Jorge Masvidal's Icon Fighting Championship?
One thing I'll definitely say that was the most important thing was a mindset. Going into that fight, again, Malcolm was just another guy in my eyes. But really just, hindsight and looking at everything, just the experience of everything, I never thought it was a skill issue in the fight. I really thought it was just a mindset thing. So he definitely taught me what it meant to really want something and really just go after it. So just going forward, I just, toughened up here and, it's working for me.
And are you currently the area's Fight Series champ?
Yes, currently. Yes, okay. I am.
So you've got that championship. Your training partner, Carrington Johnson, is also an area's fighting championship belt holder from Stryker. And now you're fighting for our NFC Georgia Bantamweight Championship. So you could be one of the few guys that holds a title for both two organizations in the Southeast. I think maybe the only one.
And again, that's just another one of my small accomplishments that, again, is going to contribute to the bigger picture. Again, when I see those belts and everything, it's just a reminder of like, hey, you belong here and, you meant to do this. So I'm just happy to be fighting for another.
You're so humble and soft-spoken, and I feel like you're the kind of person that somebody would try to start something with and get their ass whooped on the street. You're kind of that guy. What gets you going before a fight? Like, you just seem so in your zone and such a vibe. What gets you to that next level to just want to, as you said, whoop someone's ass?
I explain this to a lot of people. I never want to whoop anybody's ass. It's not even about that to me. I want to show you that I'm the superior mindset. That's all I want to do. I train techniques. I want to show my skills better. I want to show all of that. It's not about, just beating up the guy, even though I do love fighting. Yeah, I like the conflict, but it's not about that to me. So getting mad before fighting and all that, it just don't make sense to me. I'm here to show my skill set, and who wants to fight mad,
So I know your opponent, Kamiko Hall, we've never seen in the NFC. I've only had Jesse tell me he's a badass, and we showed that knockout video from him a couple minutes ago. He is watching because he posted on Facebook the eyeballs, 2 sets of eyeballs on here. So he's actually watching right now. Is there anything? I know you don't like to sound tough or make threats, or is there anything you'd have to say to him as you guys prepare 8 weeks out for this right now?
All I got to say is I hope you're ready, because I know, you can have your record, you can have your highlights and everything. The only thing that matters on that night is everything in that cage. So I want him to show everything he got. Simple as that.
Sweet. Appreciate it. You got any more questions there, Kimberly?
No, I mean, it's like I do feel like we need to ask you what's going to bring everybody out. We've asked everybody else. So what's going to bring the crowd out for you? Like, what's your selling point to sell those extra tickets? Because I know you get money from those tickets. So here's your chance to get a little bit more extra money to get those fans out and get tickets under your name.
Well, I'll say this. Typically in my fights, I don't like to be boring. I like to push the pace. If y'all want to see something exciting, just watch Earl McKinney. Simple as that. And again, I like to do crazy stuff. I really haven't been able to pull out most of my repertoire, but I like to do crazy stuff too as well. So you might see that as well.
We appreciate your time, and I know Kamiko's watching. He told Jesse he wants to come on the podcast, so maybe we'll have him on in a week or two, and hopefully he can tell me if I'm even pronouncing his name correct or not. And Kamiko, I'm assuming it's spelled Kamiko, so hopefully.
I need to learn it before the fight, so I'm ready.
We appreciate your time tonight, Earl, and go
Yes,
back
sir.
to training and
Thank you.
working your job. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Appreciate y'all.
It must suck to follow DK Brewer and Hakeem Bashir. The energy that they bring. Hey, Earl was great and all, but it's hard to match the energy of DK and Hakeem.
I mean, it's wild, right? I mean, I forget, and then they bring it. It's a lot, but in a good way.
And the funny thing is, I don't know if DK is still watching or not, but he's still in the portal of the podcast down there, so I can see everything he's doing. Right now, it's only pointing at his fan right now. But I don't know if anyone remembers during the heyday of COVID, when we were in the middle of COVID, there was someone, I can't remember who, if it was a senator or someone like that, left their podcast on, and it actually recorded them masturbating during the Zoom meeting. I don't know. It actually happened.
Well, hopefully DK does not do that and saves the feet pictures for later, and we don't see any of that.
DK is listening because he just moved the camera down to his face and he's shaking his head no. But DK, you might want to click the end broadcast at some point in time, because I've been waiting for you to do something like that for the last 30 minutes, and I wouldn't have brought it in live, but yeah, I would have screen recorded with my own phone. He just jumped out of the broadcast.
You're done. You're done.
Yeah. So anyone that watches it, Google on CNN or Fox or whatever it is, like senator masturbating during Zoom call, and you'll see I'm not making this up. COVID changed all of us.
It did.
Yeah.
Some for the better, some for the worse.
Yeah, and some had absolutely killed their career. This is one thing I wish we got started during COVID. I wish we got the podcast started 2 years ago during COVID, when we were all walking around the house saying, "What the hell can we do right now? We can't all gather." We had the ideas. Unfortunately, we didn't start it then. We started, I guess 11 weeks ago, because this is the 11th week of the podcast now. So it's been cool. It's been fun to promote all the guys locally, let other people see the people they've been seeing in the cage and a different aspect of them.
For sure. I mean, I'm just excited, and especially now going into a month when we don't have a fight card coming up. So now we can start generating the excitement while we're still focusing on football. I mean, collegiate football, if you're in Georgia, is at an all-time height. We have the SEC championship on Saturday locally. We have the World Cup going on. So we've got all that. Of course, the NBA, that's a little lackluster, but still that's going on. The NFL. I mean, it's just a lot going on. So it's cool to have this now so we can start getting excited about something that's going to happen next year.
And while you've been saying that, your hands go crazy right there. So I need to ask, does the nail polish represent World Cup or anything with that at all?
No, it glows in the dark, actually. They just glow in the dark.
Finger?
Yeah, these ones glow in the dark.
Does Dave Vitke's most popular 10 little piglets? Do they glow in the dark at all?
The big toe is the neon one that glows in the dark, and then the other ones are black as well. So yeah, it glows in the dark. I literally I need to start filming. I guess I had a secret career that I didn't know I could have.
Yeah, we spend more time talking about your feet than talking about fights tonight.
Sorry, fans.
Sorry, fans. It goes to OnlyFans. So, but let's check the Arkansas score. I haven't updated that.
We're losing, but it's 28-32. It's so close.
28-30. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. Again, Julian Virgin is out tonight. Family emergency with him tonight. Hopefully he will be back next Monday. This is something I wanted to do, that we bring in other people like yourself and others to co-host the podcast, because my goal with it is even possibly to do podcasts at the weigh-ins, and possibly even a podcast the night of the fight as people are rolling in, something where it's like if the doors open at 7 and fights being at 8 or whatever, there's a little podcast for an hour outside. Julian, since he's announcing, won't be able to do it. Since I'm working, I won't be able to do it, but I've wanted to throw in yourself, Zach Cooper, Jim Shepard, Lawson,
for sure,
and kind of let you guys handle it, talking to fighters as they walk into the venue. I think that'll be something all the fighters enjoy. So it's always good to get more people, more experience doing something like this. Although you and Julian are phenomenal at it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, well, it's kind of what we were doing for the Instagram page and the Facebook page anyway. It was just me bringing in different people and interviewing them. So now it'll just be a little bit longer of a segment, I feel like.
Yeah, a little longer of a segment. I think a lot more people watching and just bringing in fighters outside and stuff like that. So yeah, exactly like that. Zach hasn't done it. Lawson hasn't done it. Jim hasn't done it. So you're going to have to coach them along when we do it for the first time. And hopefully if you guys want, maybe January 20th, the next one we'll do it. If we get to where we're doing fights at Sports and Social at the Battery, I think that would be a dope place. Do it right outside the Battery where Brian Jordan, the Braves players, do it right there on the green space out there. You know, I think the sky's the limit for what we do here.
For sure. I look forward to it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time, Kimberly. Again, January 20th, Friday, January 20th, Monday Night Brewing. Tickets on sale at nfcfighting.com. I'm David Oblis for Kimberly Sargent and Julian Virgin. I appreciate you all watching. We are out. Thank you.
Take care. Bye, guys.